Hey, it's that man back at you again. Sultan Shaheed Akbar Lael, also known as the Fifth Corner Pimp, coming at you again with Moorish Science 101. And I'm gonna be discussing Article 7, the final article of the Moorish American Zodiac Constitution, you know what I'm saying? And this completes it. You know what I'm saying? So here it is right here. It's Moorish Science 101. Article 7, the Moorish American Freedom and Legal in the Christian Union Courtroom. In the Christian Union Courtroom, the Moors cannot be forced to remove their red fast from their heads, nor can it be forced to raise their hand and take an oath over the Christian Bible. Neither can Moors, the Bays, or the L's employ white or Negro lawyers to represent free Moorish Americans. The Negro is the property of the Union slaveholders. The Moors must respect the court by saying, "I affirm." Here the court has no jurisdiction over them, which automatically makes them qualified to defend themselves by their Zodiac constitutional law and their mathematical number 9. The number 9 corresponds with the letter I, based upon the 9 months from conception to birth, which make you, yourself, the great I am, the first and the highest law of self-protection and self-preservation, in harmony with your Zodiac 12-sign unchanged constitutional moral law of 360 degrees squared by your number 9, end quote. Quote, the Moorish Zodiac Constitution is referred to in the Christian mythology as the Holy Quran, or the Holy Koran, meaning the earth, the moon, the sun, and the 7 planets, or the chronological zodiac record of the Moorish nations of North America. The name Muhammad, prophet, religion, God, church, temple, and mosque was established by the Dutch Anglo-Saxon priesthood Franciscan fathers of North America who overthrew the Moorish Society of Islam between 1789 and the Union of 1863, end quote. Quote, the Moors, the Bays, and the L's must never attempt to teach or lecture in the Christian institutions, namely church, temple, mosque, school, and hall. This is a violation of the Union Society States' Right Magna Carta Code of Merit in Christ. The truth of the Moorish Zodiac Constitutional Law and Moorish human principles definitely conflict with the Christian Union's custom and doctrine of the Magna Carta from every angle. Nor do not criticize the white people belief in the religion of their son and women image. Nor do not ever attempt to influence the white people's economical and social attraction, only which had its beginning in the colonies of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois in 1848 and 1854. If the lawmakers of the 50 Union States Society of North America should attempt to ignore the Moorish American Zodiac law and birthright of this Constitution, it would be an act of supreme violation of their own Magna Carta Code. Walaikum Assalam. Alright? That's the first part of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, you know what I'm saying? Written by Shin Bey. Now, I'm going to give you the breakdown of it by Sultan Shaheed Akbar Lael. Alright? See the breakdown. Say, quote, in the Christian Union courtroom, the Moors cannot be forced to remove their red fast from their heads, nor can they be forced to raise their hand and take an oath over the Christian Bible. Neither can Moors, the Bays, and the L's employ white or Negro lawyers to represent free Moorish Americans. Alright? Now, the fast is the symbol of the Moorish identity, and the Moors have freedom of religion, which embraces the concept of freedom to belief and freedom to act, the first of which is absolute, but the second which remains subject to regulation for the protection of society, end quote. That's a case from Onely versus Oklahoma City. You know what I'm saying? And that case there is showing religious freedom, you know what I'm saying? Religious freedom is guaranteed by the First Amendment clauses of the U.S. Constitution, all right? That's why you have the right to wear your fast or your turban in the court without having it removed, you know what I'm saying? You know, they can't make you remove it, you know? All right? Never swear or take an oath. The Christian Bible says not to swear by oath. There's Bible verses that tell you that. Book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 34. It say, quote, "But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God," end quote. The book of James says, chapter 5, verse 12 says, quote, "But above all, my brothers, do not swear, either by heaven or by earth or by any other oath, but let your yes be yes and your no be no, so that you may not fall under condemnation," end quote. All right. So that's the part about not swearing and taking the oath when you enter the Christian Union courtroom. All right. Even out the Christian Bible, they say they believe in. You know what I'm saying? So when the Moorish national does not swear on the Christian Bible and oath, nor employ white or Negro lawyers to represent them, the modes of having them come to the Christian Union courtroom in person. All right. In person means a party, plaintiff, or defendant who sues out a writ or other process or appears to conduct his case in court himself. Instead of due a solicitor or counsel, is said to act and appear in person. Appearance in court means anything. Don't confuse it with how you dress. All right. A lawyer or a barrister is defined as, in England, a lawyer who is a courtroom advocate, solicitor, and an American, occasionally an informer, another word for lawyer. A lawyer cannot and will not defend you because they are barred from doing so. Their whole purpose is to solicitate for the court. All right. Quote, "The Negro is the property of the Union slaveholders," end quote. Referred to a book by the 1900s by Charles Carroll called "The Negro a Beast or an Image of God," end quote. And we'll break that down, how the Negro is the property of the Union slaveholders. You know what I'm saying? Because Negro is not for real. It's artificial. You know what I'm saying? Quote, "The Moors must respect the court by saying I affirm." Here the court has no jurisdiction over them, qualifying them to defend themselves by the Zodiac constitutional law and the mathematical number 9. The number 9 corresponds with the letter I, based upon the 9 months of conception and birth, which make you yourself the great I am. The first and the highest law of self-protection and self-preservation in harmony with your 12 signs unchanged constitution, moral law of 360 degrees squared by your number 9, end quote. Affirm, to ratify, make firm, confirm, establish, reassert. Ask, reverse, Peters. All right. Quote, "The name Muhammad, prophet, religion, God, church, temple, and mosque was established by the Dutch Anglo-Saxon priesthood, Franciscan fathers of North America, who overthrew the Moorish Society of Islam between 1789 and the Union of 1863. All right. The Franciscan fathers are the monks who wear the brown hooded robes. All right. That's the Franciscan monks. Mecca is a trading post between the Mohammedans, people that worship Prophet Muhammad, and the Christians. Check out books on the wall, the Crusades, to verify that. Quote, "The Moors, the Baznels, must never attempt to teach a lecture in a Christian institution named the church, temple, mosque, school, or hall. This is a violation of the Union Society States Right Magna Carta Code of Christ and merit. The truth of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, law, and moral human principles definitely conflicts with the Christian Union custom and doctrine of the Magna Carta from every angle. Now, do not criticize the white people's belief in the religion of their son and women image. Nor do not ever attempt to influence the white people to accept the moral truth and principles of your 12 signs Zodiac constitutional law," end quote. All right. If a Moor, the base of the L, was a teacher, a lecturer in a Christian institution, then it would no longer be a Christian institution. The Magna Carta Code of Mary and Christ is for the pure European salvation. The Zodiac law is for the Moorish nation salvation. Quote, "Because the Magna Carta is a Latin phrase meaning Magna Charta, a white people's economic and social attraction only, which had its beginning in the colonies of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois in 1848 and 1854, end quote. The Magna Carta became supreme in the following 4 states commonly called the Heartland." All right, now you look at those 4 states, those states are the states that run legislature, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's, you know what I'm saying? Hear that. Quote, "If the lawmakers of the 50 Union State Society of North America should attempt to ignore the Moorish American Zodiac law and birth rights of this Constitution, it would be an act of supreme violation of their own Magna Carta Code." All right. If you go back to Article 1 of the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, it speaks on the last part of this Article 1. All right. Salam, this completes the Moorish National Zodiac Constitution. Study well and rise to the level. Sultan Shahid Akbar Allah. All right. And basically, what that's saying is, the last part, if they was to go against the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, they'll be going against their own Magna Carta code, because everything that the Union Society do, they copy from the Moors, you know what I'm saying? We took Europe out of the Dark Ages, you know, we took France, Spain, all these people out of the Dark Ages, you know what I'm saying? And they all copy off of Moorish science, you know. So there's no such thing as they wrote anything outside of our doing, you know. Moorish history is one of the histories that all the European so-called scholars, the priesthood, the religious people, they try to hide. But right now, in the day and time we're in the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius, called the astrological sign, is where everything is being revealed. You know what I'm saying? So, with that saying, study well, Islam.
They just got back from Washington, D.C. I think they got something they want to say. No, we can't do that, man. No.